What is up? Matt Pratt here, and tonight we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna do a bumper repair, and this is not your normal bumper repair. This thing is cracked in half. So anyways, I'm gonna show you the step process that I do with that, because fixing a bumper like this, saved my ass so many times, whether the bumper you can't get anymore or the bumper is like super expensive. So if you're new to this channel and this is your first time, all I do is just work on my own personal cars and friends' cars cheap as possible at my house. Yes, this is my home shop. So if you are interested in the stuff that I do every week, hit that subscribe button. So let's get to work. We have here a Acura NSX bumper, and as you can see, it has taken a pretty gnarly hit. It's completely cracked behind here where the lower part of the bumper mounts. It is completely destroyed here. They said they got a new lip, but as you can see, this lip took a couple hits already. I know I can save that lip, but the challenge is not fixing this area, but it's fixing the inside mount area. So let's flip this bumper over. By the way, this bumper weighs a ton. NSXs are supposed to be super light, but they're aluminum and everything they have in it, and I'll tell you what, they got the heaviest aluminum out there. Here we go. This is the inside of an NSX bumper, and then you can see here the separation that we have from here to there. Good thing is we have another side we can reference off of. That's what it's supposed to look like. So I'm going to do my best to rebuild all of that somehow. And it looks like we have a tab here broken and so on. So let's see if we can fix this. These kind of screws are the worst. Look how corroded they are. I'm not going to use my impact on it. I'm actually going to use this. I'll probably hammer it in there. Yeah, and that's supposed to go in there. And we're supposed to glue all this stuff together, and all that crap is supposed to fit in there. This is going to be fun. Oh well. It's okay, because if this don't work out, then I won't post this video. Alright, so I tried taking apart the inside of this, but these bolts here are just very, very rusty. So I sprayed some penetrating oil on there. I'm probably going to let them sit a day. I really do need to get those out. It's crucial to separate this bumper, to take apart, just so I can get to this part, because come to find out, and this area is broken also. So, well, I threw some tape on the outside to hold our broken piece together just to see what I'm looking at here, and all the cracking is through here and through here, and it's actually not a bad spot to have it. It does have a lot of mount points which are critical, but I actually think the way it broke, I can actually get a good amount of glue back there with some mesh to hold it together. In here is going to be a little more complicated. This is the area I said I didn't realize was broken, but it is. Like I said, I need to get these screws loose so I can separate this, so I can properly repair that too. But it all depends. So if I can't get these loose, I'm gonna have to repair this all together, and I'm afraid trying to repair that I'm only going to be able to get to one side of it because I can't separate the two, so it's going to make it for a weaker repair, which my buddy probably won't mind. He's just trying to save a bumper, you know, as cheap as possible, because these bumpers are kind of like hard to come by. So finally, a few days of letting these bolts soak in some PB Blaster penetrating oil, and they finally came apart. In fact, this one was giving me trouble. I hit it with a torch and it started to catch the plastic on fire, so I couldn't do that. Well, then I started grinding the backside of it. You know, I was grinding the backside of it because, hell, I'm going to be grinding it completely off if I have to. But then I hit it with a couple twists of this impact driver, which I'm really just using the impact driver because it has a really nice bit on there. But anyways, I used the impact driver to twist it out, and it came out. So the next step I kind of did on this thing is I started taping it up just to really hold it in place. And I'm going to take the grinder and valley all this out, just so when I stick my glue in there, it has some place to sit and squeeze everything together. And then I'm going to valley out the other side and then get the glue to like touch, so it kind of sandwiches this piece together. So yeah, I stuck some tape on there just to hold it together, because that's critical, because this thing's going to move all around the place, and I have to make sure it sits in the same place that it was when it was bolted onto the lower half. The bottom of here is going to be kind of tricky. Number one, from putting penetrating oil on all these bolts, it is just literally saturated this plastic, so I have oil in there now. It's going to make it trickier for the glue to stick. And number two, it's just kind of like been broken for so long, it's like bent out of its ways, so it's going to take a little bit of some tape tricks to tape that one together too. So alright, let's get to grinding on this. Alright, quick update. Took my little belt grinder here and I actually used that to valley it out a little bit. Not too much. I probably could do it a little bit more, but I'll probably do it more on the other side. It just helps out a little bit here. I did a little bit of valley in there. This is going to be pressed up there. Hopefully I'm going to be able to clamp it. And I sprayed some adhesion promoter on there, plastic adhesion promoter. It's going to help the glue stick. Some guys will drill holes through here. I don't think I'm going to need to do that. I think it actually is going to hold pretty good. So we're going to chance it. So, and this is the same way. I don't think I'm going to need to drill any holes through there. Actually, I mean, I might stick a few in there while I'm at it. Let's do that. Let's stick some holes in there. I'll show you. Alright, came back, drilled some holes. What the holes do is that when glue is laying over top of this, the glue will actually get inside the hole and help anchor the two together. Is it effective? It's pretty effective. I mean, it doesn't hurt, you know, to drill a couple holes in there. So couldn't really get the drill in here much, so we're just gonna have to cross our fingers with that one. Got some mesh here, and what I do is I pre-cut the mesh, and when I lay glue all over it, I gotta be pretty quick, and I gotta push this mesh into the it's gonna go in there like that. I'm literally gonna just squish it all in there, and then I'll be able to actually peel this plastic off and the glue will be on there with the mesh, and that will help hold the glue together instead of it cracking. And I got some 3M super fast plastic repair, some stuff that I get off Amazon. I got a couple tips here because this stuff is so fast. I'll probably be exchanging a tip for each piece I put on there. It's really that fast. Got the mesh on with the glue. This stuff is screaming hot. That's just how fast this stuff is. But everything looks like it didn't shift or move, so everything stayed in place. I'm just going to let it dry. In the meantime, letting it dry, I'm going to flip it over and actually start working on the other side, so we can get that glued up and then maybe some filler and everything on there. So here's the outside of the bumper. You see I beveled it a little bit. This is what it looks like when the holes are drilled through, and what I'll actually do is I'll dig those out a little bit too, just so my glue sticks to it and it just helps anchor it in. I'm going to take the belt sander, the little baby belt sander to this, dig that out a little bit and do these too, but this is ready for a coat of glue too. Go. Pretty much just spread the glue out. I got spreading out some caulk and then I hit it with a spreader. Now before I sand this, I want this to dry a good bit. In fact, it's a little late. It's like 12, 1, whatever. I'm actually gonna come back and do this in the morning. Make sure it's nice and hard. But before I'm done, I'm gonna flip it back over and we're gonna cut all this stuff. We're gonna cut all this mesh out. I'll show you what that looks like. I cut all that extra stuff away, and that's about what it looks like. It's pretty stiff. I still have to glue in the back side of here. I didn't do that, but you can actually sand this a little bit to get it thinner. Mounts right here, and then I have a mount that comes through there, so that should be good. This one needs to be glued on the other side also, but I mean, it's solid, so I think it's going to work out pretty good. The bumper is never going to be what it ever was, but it's better than buying a really expensive NSX bumper. So like I said, it's not a fix that I would ever guarantee, but if you're trying to save yourself a couple bucks, you know what I mean, on a really old school bumper, you know, and trying to source one, this will work for now. And then when one comes around your way, you get it painted and use that one. So, but yeah, this is gonna look good. So, all right, so we're actually gonna let this sucker sit till the morning. So this gets nice and hard, and I can buzz this down and finish that with a little bit of filler. I think I got to sand the lower part and finish de-trimming everything like the lights and the emblem, and prime it, and it'll be ready for paint. Alright, it is the next day here. Let's check out this repair. I started sanding on it. As you can see, these are my holes that are holding the crack through. The crack kind of comes down and goes between the holes. We definitely have that covered and filled. I can flex it here. Nothing's happening. It's stiff. I sanded it a little bit last night, and the issue that I was running into was starting to roll out. It was starting to roll off of where I was sanding. That means that the glue hasn't completely dried and actually adhered to the plastic. But so I came back and sanded today, and it's good to go. It actually sanded pretty smooth. Now I'm going to put a coat of glaze on it. It's kind of like a really smooth body filler, and that should finish up the outside of this repair. Then I can prime it and then take it to paint. So I got it all taped up, and all I'm going to do now is prime it, and then we can see, you know, how well hidden this crack in the bumper is. And if you haven't noticed, we actually started insulating around here. This time last year I did not insulate and it got cold fast. You know, made me hit the brakes on working on cars, and I was not letting that happen. So I called a couple friends over. I got a couple good friends that literally I will call, and next day they were over here helping me out. They showed me how to do this wall. They gave me an idea on how to do this kick panel with my leftover walls from when they first built this building, and then I started knocking out this side, and I still have a little bit more to do over there. But anyways, the main thing is I'm getting on it, because it's tough, man, when you got a shop like this and you're trying to work on your own cars, and you still got to do maintenance on the shop. So the good thing is too is I filmed it. I'm actually going to put a video of it together, some of the stuff going over of the booth that I built over there, and other stuff like insulating, stuff that I didn't think about that I'm learning. I'm going to share with you guys. So well, anyways, back to the bumper. And we have primer. See, our area that was cracked before looks pretty good. You definitely can't see any of the repair, which is awesome. Around the edges it gets a little fuzzy. That's just with sanding with a really coarse sandpaper will do that. You can get it out with finer grit sandpapers, but we just load it up with primer. It's not the right thing to do, but it doesn't hurt anything. Load it up with primer, sand it smooth anyway. Yeah, the repair looks really good, almost unnoticeable. So that's it for this video. I gotta edit it so I can have it out to you next week, because I am leaving for SEMA. Well, anyways, do me a favor, subscribe, share, like, and comment, so you can keep up with me every week out here working on cars or working on the shop, one or the other. See ya.